At a certain stage of life, money stops being about ambition. It becomes about peace, about knowing the bills are paid, knowing the fridge is full, and knowing tomorrow won't bring stress. For many older Australians, retirement isn't about luxury, it's about stability. A roof that doesn't cost everything, groceries that don't shock you, a town where life doesn't demand more than you can give. And despite what headlines say, Australia still has places like that. Places where a simple life is not only possible, it's normal. This video isn't about beachside hotspots or trendy regional centers. It's about towns where older Aussies have quietly settled for decades, living modestly, comfortably, and without pressure. Places where everyday expenses remain low, because life itself is simple. Let's begin. Our first town sits in South Australia. It's called Peterborough. Peterborough is a former railway town that never tried to reinvent itself as something flashy. And because of that, it stayed affordable. Housing costs here remain among the lowest in the country. Rates are reasonable, and daily life doesn't involve unnecessary spending. Shops are local, distances are short, and you don't need much to get by. Peterborough has a hospital nearby, essential services in town, and a community that looks out for its own. This is the kind of place where people live within their means and don't feel deprived doing it. For many older residents, monthly expenses stay low simply because there's nothing pushing them higher. Next, we move north, into Queensland, but not to the coast. We head inland to Charleville. Charleville has always been a service town for the surrounding region. That means something important. It has healthcare, it has shops, and it has infrastructure. Without big city prices, housing remains accessible, utilities are manageable, and everyday costs stay steady. People who retire to Charleville aren't looking for entertainment. They're looking for reliability, and Charleville provides that. You don't spend money just to exist here. You spend only what you need. Now we head south, into Victoria, to a town many people pass without stopping. Donald sits in the Wimmera region, surrounded by farmland and wide open space. This is a town built for practical living. Groceries are affordable, services are close, and there's no lifestyle inflation. People don't compete here, they settle. Donald has long been popular with retirees who want predictable costs and a quiet routine. No pressure, no rush, just life at a human pace. For our fourth town, we return to South Australia, this time to Port Augusta. Port Augusta sits at the crossroads of the outback and the coast, but never became expensive because of it. Housing remains attainable, energy costs are manageable, and services are extensive for a town its size. Port Augusta works well for older Australians because it offers choice without cost pressure. You can live simply, or you can stay active. Either way, expenses remain under control. It's a town where many retirees quietly realize they don't need more. They need less. One of the biggest misconceptions about retirement is that cheaper living means giving something up. In many of these towns, it means the opposite. You gain time, you gain predictability, and you gain control over your spending. Our next town sits in New South Wales, well away from the coast. It's called Walgett. Walgett has long been a regional service town, which keeps everyday costs grounded. Housing here remains among the most affordable in the state. Utilities are straightforward, and daily expenses are kept low by necessity, not neglect. People who live here tend to live simply, not because they must, but because that's how the town works. There's no lifestyle pressure, no expensive distractions, and no expectation to spend. For older Aussies who value routine, community, and stability, Walgett quietly works. Now we head south, into Tasmania, away from the tourist towns, to a place many mainlanders overlook entirely, Queenstown. Queenstown sits surrounded by mountains and rainforest, with a climate that keeps extremes away. It was once a busy mining town. Now it's something else. Quiet, slow, affordable. Housing costs remain low compared to the rest of Tasmania. Groceries are reasonable, and life here doesn't encourage excess. People who retire to Queenstown usually do so intentionally. They want calm, they want scenery, and they want expenses they can plan around. Queenstown doesn't demand much, and for many retirees, that's the appeal. Next, we cross back to Queensland, this time to Monto. Monto is small, green, and practical. It has healthcare, local shops, and strong community ties. Living costs in Monto remain low because the town hasn't been discovered. Housing is attainable, rates are modest, and everyday spending stays within reason. Monto suits people who enjoy quiet routines and outdoor space without the coastal price tag. Many older residents here live comfortably by keeping life simple, and Monto makes that easy. Now we move west, to Western Australia's wheat belt, to a town built for agriculture, not tourism. Katanning. Katanning is steady, grounded, and affordable. Housing prices remain low, groceries are local, and services are reliable. This is a town where people budget naturally, not because money is tight, but because spending opportunities are limited. For retirees, that can be a strength. You don't feel pressured to spend, you don't feel behind. You live at your own pace. Katanning quietly supports that lifestyle. By now, the pattern is unmistakable. These towns don't reduce costs through sacrifice. They reduce costs through design, short distances, local services, stable communities. Life simply costs less when everything is nearby and expectations are modest. In the final part of this video, we'll look at the last few towns, including one near water, one surrounded by hills, and one that surprises many people. Before closing with why places like these may offer the most realistic retirement option left in Australia. At this stage, it becomes clear that affordable retirement isn't about finding the perfect town. It's about finding a town that doesn't fight you, a place where costs stay predictable, where life doesn't demand upgrades, and where comfort comes from routine, not spending. Our next town sits in New South Wales, close to water, but far from coastal prices. It's called Corowa. Corowa rests quietly along the Murray River. The river shapes daily life here. People walk, they fish, they sit, and that pace keeps spending low. Housing remains accessible compared to river towns further east. Groceries are reasonably priced. Healthcare and services are established. Corowa works for older Aussies because it offers calm without isolation. You're not paying for hype, you're paying for function, and that keeps monthly living costs under control. Next, we head south again, into Tasmania, this time to a town many people overlook entirely, Smithton. Smithton sits in the state's far northwest, surrounded by farmland and clean air. It's not flashy, it's not busy, but it's practical. Housing costs remain low, local food is abundant, and daily life doesn't involve much travel or expense. Smithton has strong healthcare access for a town its size, which matters more than scenery once retirement begins. For many older residents, Smithton offers something rare, a life where expenses don't creep up over time. Now, we return to South Australia one last time, to a town that surprises people when they look at the numbers, Whyalla. Whyalla is larger than most towns on this list, but it still belongs here, because despite its size, it has remained affordable. Housing costs are low compared to similar regional centers. Utilities are manageable, and services are comprehensive. Whyalla works for retirees who want choice without pressure. You can live simply, you can stay connected, and you don't need to stretch financially to do either. Many older Australians here live comfortably by keeping life straightforward, and Whyalla supports that approach. This brings us to the final town, one that doesn't get mentioned often, but should. Bingara in New South Wales. Bingara is small, quiet, and gently scenic. It sits near a river, surrounded by bushland and farmland. Living costs here remain low because the town hasn't changed much in decades. Housing is attainable, daily expenses are modest, and community ties are strong. Bingara suits people who don't need constant stimulation. It rewards those who value routine, familiarity, and calm. So what do all these towns have in common? They weren't built for growth, they were built for life. They don't rely on tourism, they don't chase trends, and they don't encourage excess. That's why older Australians can still live well in them, not by cutting corners, but by living where life simply costs less. Retirement doesn't have to mean financial anxiety. It doesn't have to mean constant compromise. For many people, it simply means choosing a place that matches the stage of life they're in, a place where your money lasts longer because expectations are lower. Australia still has towns like that, quiet towns, honest towns, affordable towns, and for older Aussies who value peace over prestige, they may be the smartest choice left.